Redfish is a species of fish with high economic value, often living in deep sea areas with coral reefs, or mud and sand. Catching redfish with trawls is a popular method applied by many fishermen, especially in offshore fishing trips. First of all, fishermen must accurately determine the coordinates of fishing grounds with many redfish through positioning devices, fish finders and practical experience through many years of seafaring. After arriving at the correct fishing area, the fishing boat will proceed to drop the trawl, a type of net with a special structure with a wide mouth, two sides with a buoyant lead system to help maintain balance and pull close to the seabed. The trawl is tied to the boat and pulled at a suitable speed to gather fish swimming near the bottom into the net. During this process, fishermen must continuously monitor through the screen to ensure that the net does not get stuck in reefs or damaged due to the complex seabed terrain. When the net is full, the ship will stop to collect the net on deck. The redfish are classified and frozen on the spot to ensure freshness before being brought back to the port for consumption. Although this method brings high yields, it requires the fishing boat to be well equipped and the crew to have proficient skills to ensure safety as well as efficiency during the fishing process. In addition to technical factors, catching redfish with trawl nets also depends a lot on natural conditions such as weather, tides and ocean currents. Before each trip, fishermen must carefully monitor weather forecasts to avoid encountering big waves and strong winds that are dangerous to the boat and affect fishing efficiency. In addition, the season is also an important factor, because redfish often appear in large numbers at certain times of the year, especially during the spawning season or when food sources are abundant at that time. The use of trawl nets will maximize efficiency because it can collect a large number of fish in a short time. However, this method also raises some issues regarding marine environmental protection. If not carefully controlled, trawling can destroy the seabed, affecting the ecosystem and habitat of other aquatic species. Therefore, many localities and fisheries organizations are currently encouraging fishermen to use more environmentally friendly trawling nets with improved designs that minimize the impact on the seabed and allow small fish to escape. At the same time, fishermen also need to comply with regulations on mesh size, fishing time and permitted catch to ensure that redfish resources are exploited sustainably and long-term. Thanks to the combination of modern technology, traditional experience and awareness of protecting marine resources, redfish fishing by trawling not only brings a stable source of income to fishermen but also contributes to maintaining the sustainable development of the fisheries industry. After the redfish is caught and brought to the deck, the preservation and processing process also plays a very important role in keeping the fish fresh and delicious, meeting the requirements of domestic and foreign markets. Immediately after collecting the net, fishermen often classify the fish by size, removing unwanted fish or organisms. Redfish that meet the standards will be put in deep ice boxes or frozen right on the ship to quickly lower the temperature, avoiding spoilage due to high outdoor temperatures. Some modern ships are also equipped with a quick freezing system to help the fish maintain the quality as if it had just been caught. When the ship arrives at port, the fish will be immediately transferred to a cold storage or processing plant. Here, red fish can be processed in many different forms such as filleting, whole packaging, or frozen for export. Thanks to its delicious meat quality, rich nutrition and beautiful color, red fish is very popular in the market, especially high-end markets such as Japan, Korea or Europe. This contributes to increasing the economic value of fishermen as well as businesses operating in the seafood supply chain. However, to maintain the market and effectively exploit red fish resources, fisheries management needs to be more focused. Controlling the catch, licensing fishing vessels, and monitoring the use of trawl nets in accordance with regulations are key factors to ensure the sustainable development of red fish fishing, while protecting the marine ecological environment and aquatic resources for future generations. Fishing by trawl is one of the popular and highly effective fishing methods in the current fishing industry, especially for offshore trips. Trawl is a type of fishing gear with a complex structure with a very wide mouth, often pulled close to the seabed or middle layer to gather fish swimming in schools. There are two main types of trawls, bottom trawls and middle trawls. Depending on the living habits of each fish species, fishermen choose the appropriate form. When the boat reaches the fishing ground, the fisherman will drop the net from the back of the boat, while operating the boat at a steady speed so that the net can fully expand and operate effectively. The process of pulling the net can last from a few dozen minutes to a few hours depending on the expected yield and the actual conditions on the seabed. During this time, the fisherman will closely monitor the indicators on the positioning device, fish finder and camera system, if available, to adjust the speed, direction and depth accordingly. When they see that there are enough fish, they start to collect the net using a specialized winch system. Slowly bringing the mouth of the net close to the side of the boat, then lifting the entire net bag containing the fish onto the deck. After collecting the net, the fish are preliminarily classified and immediately transferred to the cold storage or ice box for preservation. This method can be applied to many types of fish such as mackerel, silver pomfret, herring, mackerel, and even shrimp and squid if caught with the right technique. However, using trawls also has potential impacts on the marine environment such as damaging the seabed, trapping unwanted creatures or small fish that are not yet ready to be exploited. Therefore, many countries and localities now have strict regulations on mesh size, fishing time and areas where trawls are allowed to be used. To ensure sustainability and balance of the marine ecosystem, fishermen are also gradually aware of their responsibility in exploiting and protecting resources. thanks to which trawl fishing methods are being improved every day in both technique and awareness. Towards a more modern and environmentally friendly fishing industry, trawling for redfish is a highly effective method, often applied in offshore fishing due to the specific nature of the habitat of this fish species. Redfish are often distributed in deep sea areas, with sandy bottoms, rubble or coral reefs, where light is difficult to penetrate and the water pressure is very high. To catch this fish species, fishermen use bottom trawls, a type of fishing gear with a specially designed design with a wide mouth, buoys and weights on both sides to keep the net open, hugging the seabed. Before fishing, fishing boats are equipped with GPS positioning systems, fish finders and seabed topography scanners to determine the coordinates of fishing grounds with many redfish when reaching the right location. The net is dropped from the back of the boat and begins to be pulled along the seabed at a steady speed for a certain period of time, which can be from 30 minutes to several hours. During this process, fishermen need to continuously monitor the net's operating status, the seabed terrain, and the signal from the fish finder to avoid the net getting caught on rocks or coral reefs, causing damage. When the required amount of fish is felt, fishermen operate the winch to pull the net up. At this time, the redfish are collected in the net bag at the end, and will be brought to the deck for sorting, weighing, and storage in the cold storage compartment. Some modern ships are also equipped with a quick freezing system to keep the fish quality at its best immediately after catching. However, due to the high value of redfish, overexploitation has occurred, leading to a decline in resources. Therefore, in addition to complying with technical procedures, fishermen also need to strictly comply with regulations on output, fishing season, and mesh size to protect the redfish population in the wild. The trawling method, if used properly, not only helps increase labor productivity but also contributes to the sustainable development of the fisheries industry, ensuring long-term benefits for coastal fishing communities. In addition to basic techniques, catching redfish with trawls also requires smooth coordination and extensive experience of the crew on board. From the boat operator, the person adjusting the winch system, to the person classifying and preserving the fish after the net is pulled up, all must operate synchronously and accurately to ensure the highest efficiency. In complex sea conditions, with strong winds, strong waves and unstable currents, just a small mistake can damage the net or make the trip in vain. In particular, redfish often live scattered and have seasonal migration habits. So the captain needs to grasp the time of year when the fish gather at high density, and rely on signs of the water surface, fish flows or information from other vessels in the area to make reasonable decisions about dropping the net. After each fishing trip, the trawl net needs to be carefully inspected to detect and promptly repair any tears or damage, to avoid loss of output in the next fishing trips. In addition, preserving redfish is also an extremely important step. If not properly frozen immediately after being caught, the fish can lose their freshness, reducing the quality and commercial value. Therefore, Many redfish fishing vessels have now invested in deep freezing systems. And some vessels even combine fishing with processing and packaging directly at sea to maintain freshness. Modernization of techniques and increased awareness of resource protection have made the method of catching redfish by trawling increasingly more efficient, safe and environmentally friendly. This is not only a traditional livelihood for fishermen, but also an important part of the value chain of seafood production and export, contributing to promoting sustainable marine economic development for many coastal localities across the country in addition to the obvious economic benefits. Redfish trawling also poses major challenges related to the protection of the marine environment and the long-term maintenance of fishery resources. The use of bottom trawling, if not controlled, can cause serious consequences for the seabed ecosystem. When operating, trawling can disturb sediments, destroy coral reefs, the shelter and breeding grounds of many marine species. In addition, trawling into unwanted species such as small fish, plankton or even endangered species is also an issue that needs attention. Therefore, many marine conservation organizations and fisheries management agencies have recommended and issued specific regulations to limit the negative impacts of this method. Regulations such as limits on the area where trawling is permitted, minimum mesh sizes to allow small fish to escape, and fishing bans during the redfish spawning season are necessary measures to protect the marine ecosystem and maintain the natural regeneration of this fish species. In addition, technology is also playing an important role in modernizing redfish trawling activities. Many fishing vessels are now equipped with smart trawling systems that can adjust the depth, towing angle, and automatically open and close the net mouth according to signals from fish detectors, helping to minimize off-target fishing and improve fishing efficiency. At the same time, software for managing routes and catches is also applied to monitor and control the activities of each fishing vessel, helping authorities to closely monitor and make appropriate adjustments when necessary. In the future, if properly invested and organized, redfish trawling will not only continue to be an important source of income for fishermen but can also develop in a modern, sustainable direction, contributing to the protection of marine resources and affirming the position of the Vietnamese fisheries industry in the international market. To achieve the goal of sustainable development in redfish trawling, raising awareness and professional qualifications for fishermen is a key factor. In recent years, many short-term training programs have been organized to equip fishermen with knowledge of modern fishing techniques, skills in using positioning equipment, fish finders, as well as legal regulations related to the protection of aquatic resources. Fishermen not only need to be proficient in technical operations but also need to understand the importance of catching fish in the right season, at the right size, and not violating prohibited areas or marine reserves. Many coastal localities have established fisheries co-management teams, where fishermen share experiences, coordinate reasonable exploitation, and monitor and remind each other to comply with regulations. This is a model that brings positive results, both increasing community solidarity and contributing to protecting long-term common interests. On the other hand, the state also has many policies to support fishermen in investing in renovating fishing vessels and fishing equipment. The construction of new steel-hulled vessels, the installation of deep freeze systems, and fuel support for offshore voyages have created favorable conditions for fishermen to improve their capacity to exploit redfish as well as other aquatic products. In addition, the development of the value chain from exploitation, preservation, processing, consumption is also focused on helping to increase the value of redfish products, raising fishermen's income. Redfish after being caught not only serves the domestic market but is also exported to many countries, requiring strict standards on quality and food safety. Therefore, proper preservation of fish and ensuring hygiene during the exploitation process is a mandatory condition to maintain the reputation and brand of Vietnamese seafood. In short, trawling redfish is a traditional profession that brings high economic value, but also comes with great responsibility to the environment and the community. Only when fishermen, businesses, authorities and related organizations join hands to build a modern, efficient and sustainable fisheries industry. Can redfish fishing truly develop in the long term, contributing to the protection of valuable marine resources for today and tomorrow in the context of increasingly complex climate change? Redfish trawling is also facing many new challenges. Rising sea temperatures, changing currents and ocean acidification have affected the natural habitat of redfish, making it more difficult to identify fishing grounds. Redfish can change their habitat, move further or deeper, forcing fishermen to adapt, update information quickly and apply advanced technology to effectively monitor fish flows. This requires large investments in both finance and knowledge, making it difficult for many small fishing households to make the transition. However, these challenges are the driving force for the fisheries industry to innovate strongly. Many businesses and cooperatives have begun to link up with oceanographic research institutes and marine environmental monitoring centers to collect and analyze fishing ground data. Thereby developing effective, less risky and more environmentally friendly fishing strategies. In addition, the application of controlled fishing models according to international standards such as MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, is also being promoted to expand export markets and increase the value of redfish products.